Intoxicated with You, written by Juliet Spencer, narrated by Nikki Delgado and Tom North. Introduction. My life sucks. There is no denying that. No, I'm not some angsty teen that's all woe is me, but I actually have a pretty good life. Well, maybe I am an angsty teen, but my life does suck. My father bailed when I was a baby, and I have no memory of him, not even a name. My mum travels a lot for work. I see her once every few months. But when she is home, she gets mad at me. She blames me for my dad leaving, but I was only a baby, so I don't really know what I did. But she always finds a way to point out that I'm not a perfect child. No, the title of an ideal child goes to my stepbrother Jeff. He is an outgoing social football star, the golden child. Everyone loves him. He gets good grades, so teachers love him. He is the star of the football team, so the other students love him. And he is my stepfather's son, so the one parent that is around favours him too. He's the exact opposite of me, and that leads me to my stepfather. I hate him. He is a high school dropout, druggy loser who's been between jobs for 9 years now. All he does is sit around the house and hang out with his loser friends, drinking and doing various drugs. And when my mum does come home, he pretends all the drugs are mine and tells her I'm out of control. In reality, I try to keep my head down and mind my business, but sometimes my stepfather and his druggy friends have other plans for me. My name is Blake, and this is my story. This story contains dark, heavy subjects such as drug use, rape, abuse, and suicide. I hope that nobody finds these triggering, but I thought I'd warn you. Chapter 1. Please, please, give it to me, please, I beg between ragged breaths as tears flow down my cheeks. I fight and squirm, but as always, it's no use. I have no say. All I do is hope they can give me the one thing to take it all away. And soon enough they do. I feel the cold prick of the needle and sting as it gets inserted further into my inner elbow. And soon, nothing. That's better. Get up, bitch. You're late for school, I hear someone say as I feel a light slap on the face. I groan when I feel a hard slap on the ass, and I shoot up, taking in a big, gasping breath. Hey, look who's up. One of my stepfather's friends laughs. Oh, I hate them so much. Sit still, and I'll let you go, my stepfather says, walking over to me, searching through his keyring for the right key. I suddenly get my bearings and realise what's going on. I'm handcuffed to the bed, wearing only my underwear. I was lying face down with my knees up under me, forcing my ass in the air. I feel so humiliated, but that's something I'm used to. Is it really Monday? I ask as my stepfather undoes my handcuffs. Yes. Oh, you had to take away my whole weekend. I had homework due today, I complain. Well, you'll be lucky to get to school on time. You might be able to make it if you leave right now, one of my stepfather's friends says to me while looking at the clock on the wall. And you were the one begging for heroin. Don't be mad when we gave it to you. I was begging for something to stop the pain, not for you idiots to take away my whole weekend, I say, rubbing my wrists, trying to get some blood flow back. You were a lot of fun, another one of my stepfather's friends chimes in while pouring himself some bourbon. Dude, it's 7 a.m. and you're like 40. Chill. I roll my eyes as I jump off my bed and start digging through my dresser drawers, looking for something to wear to school as my stepfather's gross friends get out of my bedroom. I quickly jump into the shower in the bathroom attached to my room and wash the filth off my body. I don't have enough time to wash my hair, so dry shampoo is my best friend today. Once I'm out of the shower, I dry off fast and throw on a shirt and leggings. Then I put on jeans over the leggings and a hoodie and a jacket on top of that. I know it's a lot of clothes, but I don't like people touching me, so I put as many layers between them and me as possible. Plus, when I get home, sometimes I can't even put my book bag down before I'm being force-fed pills or injected with some sedative to knock me out so my stepdad and his friends can have fun. So wearing a lot of clothes they have to take off of me is longer they aren't forcing themselves on me. I run out the door and down the road. Luckily, school is only about a 10-minute walk, so I won't be too late. I hate being late for school. I want to do well in school because I want to get out of here, get out of this town and away from my so-called family. The golden child, my stepbrother Jeff, gets his own car to drive to school and go hang out with his friends, but I can't even catch a ride to school from him. Don't get me wrong, Jeff's not a terrible person. He's just an asshole. But most guys are in their teen years. He doesn't know what my stepdad and his friends do to me. He is oblivious. But my stepdad is also careful. He only lets his friends touch me when Jeff is out of the house or knock me out so I don't make too much noise or fight back. I used to fight back a lot. Now I just make a lot of noise, begging for the drugs so I can feel better, even for a little while. I make it to school and run in just as the bell rings. I make my way to my first class and slide in a seat in the back just as the teacher walks in. I quickly take out my homework that's due today and try to do as much of it as possible before the teacher decides to take it up. As I furiously scribble down as much as I can when I hear the classroom door open again. "You must be the new kid," the teacher says. "Class, we have a new kid. Introduce yourself. Be fast." "I'm Tyler." I look up from my homework to see a tall blonde guy. He's cute. "I'm new here. I just moved here from the city, so I'm not new to the area, just the school," he continues, and I go back to doing my homework. "Great. Now take a seat." The teacher shoos him away so he can start the class. I notice movement to my right and turn to look. Tyler is sitting down next to me with a smile. I smile at him too. "Hey, I'm Tyler," he says when I make eye contact. "Blake," I nod, then turn back to my homework. "This seat taken?" "Go for it." "What are you doing?" "Homework." "Oh, are you one of those due date means due date kind of people?" he asks with a nod. "Looks like it," I shrug, not looking back up at him. "Okay, class, pass up your homework that's due today," the teacher says to the class. No, I was hoping I had more time. The teacher comes to every row to collect the homework. Since I'm in the back, my nearly empty paper is on top. Mr. Dawson stops to look at it. "I expect better from my students. You know this, Blake. If I had a choice, I wouldn't let idiots like you in my classroom, so I didn't have to waste my time with you," he says, giving me a look of disgust and walking back to the front of the classroom. "Geez, that was harsh," Tyler says, giving me a look of pity. "It's okay. I'm used to it," I sigh. It's true, though. Most of my teachers think I'm a stupid waste of space. I don't want to be, but I am. "He shouldn't talk to you like that, and if he thinks you're stupid, that's because he is failing at his job," Tyler defends. "It's okay. Just drop it," I say, pulling my hood over my head, just wanting to hide from the world. I told you I am used to humiliation. The class goes by slowly. By the end of the class, I am freezing and my skin is burning, and I just want a hit of something to calm my nerves. As soon as the bell rings, I throw everything in my bag and head out of the class without another word. I run outside and light up a cigarette. It's not what I want, but it will do the trick for a little while. I hate that I'm craving drugs. I don't want to do drugs, but they help the pain stop, and all I want is for the pain to stop. "Hey, Blake, wait up," Tyler says from behind me. "Ah." "What?" I ask as I stop walking and turn around. "Is Mr. Dawson always like that?" he asks. "Like what?" "Judgmental and making a point to embarrass people in front of everyone," he says as we start walking together. I take a drag of my cigarette. "Yeah, He's not like that to everyone, though. Just the idiots, I say, blowing smoke.
You're not an idiot, Tyler says.
Yeah, well, you're about the only person in this school that believes that, I say, taking another drag.
Can I have a drag?
Sure, here. I hand him the cigarette.
What's your next class?
He asks me, blowing smoke. History. You?
English,
he answers. Well, have fun with that, I say, taking back my cigarette and turning to walk away.
Wait, can I sit with you at lunch? He asks.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, I say with a shrug.
Why not? You're my friend, aren't you?
He questions. It's your funeral, I say, walking away towards my class.
Get out of the way, loser,
someone says as they walk into me, shoving me into a locker, causing me to drop my cigarette. Dang it. The next class went by slower than the first. At least now it's time for lunch. I grab some chips and a soda from the vending machine. I take my usual seat in the back corner of the lunchroom near the trash can. Nobody sits back there, so it's the perfect spot for a nobody like me to sit. I pop open my soda and I see a shadow cross in front of me.
Hey, Blake,
I hear a familiar voice. Tyler, I say without looking up. He plops his lunch tray down in front of me and takes a seat.
You know, when I asked to sit with you at lunch, I thought you'd have friends that would be joining us, he says with a smile.
And what in our limited interaction makes you think I have friends? I say back to him with a smile. Suddenly there is a loud noise and more people start talking over each other as Jeff enters. You want friends? Talk to that guy, I say, motioning to Jeff.
Nah, he seems like a jackass, Tyler says.
Well, you're not wrong, I say with a huff.
You seem like you know him, Tyler comments.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Ex-boyfriend?
Ew, gross. He's my stepbrother, and he acts as if he walks on water at home too.
No way. You and that guy are related, Tyler asks, turning around to look at Jeff and then back at me. You seem so...
different, I say, raising an eyebrow.
I was going to say cool compared to that guy, but different works, Tyler teases.
Yeah, well, nobody knows we are related. Nobody here really knows I exist. And if they do notice me, they hate me, I tell him. So if you ever want a social life, I suggest you move tables before someone notices, I advise him.
I hate most people, he says with a shrug and a laugh.
Me too, I sigh.
How old are you? Tyler asks me.
18. I'm a senior, I tell him.
Good. So remember how in class I said I'm not new to the area? I'm from the city, and we just moved out of it a couple of minutes and ended up in a new school district. So here I am, he asks.
Yeah. I glance at him with a questioning look.
So I have a friend in the city that owns a club. He has this big thing this weekend, and he said I could bring a friend, Tyler says.
Then I suggest you make some friends, I tell him.
I was inviting you, Tyler says with a serious face.
I can't, I shrug.
Why not? Tyler asks, raising one eyebrow.
My stepfather keeps me on a tight leash, literally. I don't think he would like the idea of me going to a club, I explain.
You don't think he would let you out of the house for one night? Tyler asks.
I wish, but no, I explain.
Come on, it's one Friday night. Can't you say you're going to your stepbrother's football game or sneak out for a couple of hours? Tyler begs.
I don't know what will happen if I just don't go home after school, I whisper to myself.
Great, so it's settled. Friday, you and I can hang out for a couple of hours after school. Then we can go to the club. Then I'll bring you right home afterwards. What's the worst that could happen? You get grounded for the rest of the weekend, Tyler says with a smile.
I wish. I have a feeling it's going to be much worse, though. Chapter 2. Friday. No, Tyler, please, I beg Tyler as he pulls me towards his car. You said that we'd hang out after school today and then go to the club, Tyler says as he opens the passenger side door. No, you said that, I point out, trying to get away from Tyler. Well, let's call this kidnapping then. He smiles at me before shoving me in the car and closing the door. He runs around the driver's side and hops in. And you're lucky. You're about to have the funniest kidnapping of all time, Tyler says as he turns the car on and pulls out at the parking spot. It better be, because I'm going to be dead when I get home, I mumble to myself, looking out of the window. Lighten up, Tyler says as we pull away. Tyler drove us to the mall first because he said I couldn't wear a sweatshirt to the club. After walking around the mall for a few hours, I managed to find one shirt that Tyler said would be okay at a club. It's a low-cut tank top with ruffles in back. It's not too flashy or revealing, so I'm semi-comfortable with it, but it's much more revealing than I'm used to. I'm used to my sweatshirt hoodie with a jacket over it, but apparently that's not okay at a club. I don't want to go to the club if it's just going to be packed with people like my stepfather and his friends. I get enough of that at home. Blake. What? I say, sitting up a little bit straighter in the car seat. What were you thinking about? You were pretty lost in thought, Tyler asks me as he pulls out of a drive-through I didn't realise we stopped for. Oh, nothing, I lie. You got food? What did you get? I ask, effectively changing the subject. I got us food, he corrects me. Us? Why? I ask. Because we are going to a club. If any drinks are drunk, I think it would be best if we both eat before Handsome Nothing gets too out of control, he explains. Oh, thank you. I don't have any money on me, but I can pay you back at school, I mumble. Don't worry about it. My treat. Tyler winks at me. Tyler, can I ask you something? I ask, turning to him a little. Sure, you can ask me anything, he says with a smile, but keeps his eyes on the road. Why me? Of all the people at school you could have become friends with, of all the empty seats you could have sat in Monday in class, why me? I ask, looking at him. Because you look like you needed a friend the most, and I believe everyone should have one good friend, no matter what, he says, glancing at me. You seem great, don't get me wrong, but I don't want any friends. I only cause trouble for people, I mumble. Well, it's too late. We're already friends, and we're already here, so it's too late, Tyler says, pulling into a parking spot. I'll give you a minute to change into your new shirt, and then we're going. I let out a sigh. Come on, it'll be fun. Relax, live a little. Tyler smiles as he steps out and closes the car door. Fine. I guess we're doing this. I glance at Tyler, who has his back leaned against the car door, giving me some privacy. I take a deep breath and start taking off all my layers of clothes. A minute later, I step out of the car wearing my new shirt and feel very self-conscious. I step out of the car, close the door, and cross my arms over my chest, hoping to cover as much as possible. Oh, you look so pretty, Tyler says with a smile. I look like a dumpster fire. Just now I'm wearing a nicer shirt. I gave him a look. You don't look like a dumpster fire, Blake, Tyler says with a laugh. Come on, club's this way, he says, pointing off to the right. So you really grew up here? I ask him. Yep, all my life, he nods. That's cool, I whisper. Yeah, I guess. It is nice to go to a smaller school and live in a town. You know, the kind of place where everyone knows everyone, instead of just being part of a crowd. He shrugs. All I've ever wanted was to get lost in a crowd. I feel too noticeable at home, I sigh. Noticeable? Yeah. I wish I could just fade into oblivion, where nobody could see me and nobody could hurt me or humiliate me, I sigh. Why am I being so honest with him right now? Tyler stops walking and looks at me. Blake, is this about how Mr. Dawson talks to you in class? Because I've heard how some other teachers talk to you, and heard how the students talk about you, and see how they treat you. If you want me to talk to...
No, it's fine. I'm fine. I just wish sometimes people could be just a little nicer. That's all, I shrug. But hey, it's high school. If everyone got along, there wouldn't be so many crappy high school TV shows. I smile.
You know, I've never seen you retaliate or stand up for yourself. Why not? Tyler asks me.
It's Darwinism, survival of the fittest. There's sharks attacking at will, and I know I'll never be a shark. I'm a cuttlefish.
I shrug. A cuttlefish?
I blend into my environment to survive. The better I blend, the better I survive, I explain. I can't blend in if I stand up for myself every time someone wrongs me. I'd never survive that one. I don't even think I'd last a week. I laugh.
Well, lucky for you, I can stand up for you, Tyler says with a smile.
You're going to be a shark? I ask with a raised eyebrow.
Honey, I'm a wolf, he laughs.
Okay, sure, dude. A wolf. I say turtle before I'd say wolf, I tease him.
You don't think I could be a wolf? He laughs.
Not at all. You're not big, ferocious, and scary.
Only when it comes to people I care about.
He smiles. I just roll my eyes. Whatever helps you sleep at night. We keep walking to the club and get in line at the door.
You brought your ID, right? Tyler asks.
No, I don't have one, I say, looking down at the ground.
You don't have an ID? You're 18. You don't have a driver's license or...
I ain't got no car, so my stepfather never thought I needed an ID. He says that would make it easier for me to get away, I explain.
Easier to get away? Tyler asks, crossing his arms to look at me.
I am the problem child, remember? Why give me a way to cause more problems? I shrug.
Oh, well, don't worry about it. I know the bouncer. He'll let us in. Tyler shrugs.
Well, that's good. We came this far. I'd hate for it all to be a waste, I say. We almost reach the front of the line when Tyler throws his arm over my shoulder. I pull away from him, but he pulls me back. Tyler, please. I really don't like being touched, I say as I pull away again, but he keeps his arm firmly around me and leans in.
Just go with it,
he whispers in my ear. I stop struggling as the line moves and he leads me to in front of the bouncer. He then takes his arm off me and whispers something in the bouncer's ear as they both look at me. It takes a second for the bouncer to smile, but eventually he does, then nods towards the door. Tyler puts his arm back around me and leads me in the door. Tyler takes his arm from around me as soon as we're in.
Sorry, that was just the easiest way to get in, since you don't have an ID, he explains.
It's okay, I shrug.
Hey, relax a little. You're so... tense, Tyler says, crossing his arms, mimicking my body language since I got out of the car. Here, I'm going to get you a drink so you can loosen up, Tyler says to me.
I nod and start scratching my arm as Tyler walks toward the bar. I could use something right about now. I'm not big on drinking, but hopefully that will do. If not, it's a club. I'm sure I could find something here. Anything would help right now. I start making my way to the far corner of the club as I watch the crowd, watching for anyone coming near me, watching to see if I could find any drugs. I lean back against the wall and get comfortable. It doesn't take long for Tyler to bring me a drink.
Here you go, m'lady, he says as he bows some and presents me a glass.
You're such a weirdo, I laugh.
Yeah, is that what it takes to make you smile? Then yeah, he says, leaning against the wall next to me.
We both take sips of our drinks. Mine isn't that bad. I usually only get to taste the alcohol on someone's breath. Thanks, I say, looking at Tyler and smiling. I'll find a way to pay you back.
I kidnapped you, remember? It's my treat, Tyler says, taking another sip of his drink. So far, this has been a pretty good kidnapping. I'd rate it 5 stars on Yelp, I say, as I elbow him and laugh. I started itching my arm again. This drink is good, but it's not doing the trick. I need more. Hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back, I say, finishing my drink and handing the glass to Tyler. I make my way through the crowded club and towards the bar when I see a door on the side where people are going in and out. Bingo. I make my way towards the door to find it is the bathroom. As soon as I walk in, I see a girl snorting something off the bathroom sink. She looks up at me once I walk in. Sweet, where'd you get that? I ask her. She smiles. My boyfriend. You're cool, she asks me. Yeah. He deals. You want? She asks, stepping aside. Hell yeah, I say, stepping up to the sink. I take a deep breath in and snort up as much as I can, just like I saw her do. I've never tried coke before. I've only ever really been given downers and sedatives. That's better. I let out a deep breath as I stand back up. That's good stuff. I look at the girl smiling. I feel better already. This was great and all, but what else does he deal? I ask. I can see what he has on him. She smiles as she does another bump. Thanks, I appreciate it, I say as I walk back out of the bathroom. That was just what I needed. I head back to Tyler, who is exactly where I left him. Hey, I smile at him. Hey, you seem happier, he smiles as he stands up from leaning against the wall. I am. You want to dance? I ask him. I want to do something and move. How about I get us another drink, and if you still want to dance, then you can go dance, Tyler says. Hey, I caught that. I'm sure I can find someone else to dance with if you don't want to, I say to Tyler, while looking around the club for anyone else that will want to dance with me. All right, fine. I need another drink if I'm going to dance, though. So one more drink, then we can dance, Tyler says. I nod. Did you like your last drink? Tyler asks me. Yeah, I nod again. Okay, I'll get you another one, Tyler says as he heads off towards the bar. I stay where I am and close my eyes, listening to the music. I like the song. I start moving around a little bit to the beat. I feel like someone is looking at me, but I don't mind. Soon Tyler comes back with the drinks, breaking me out of my trance. You want to dance, huh? Tyler says, handing me my drink. I'm still swaying back and forth some. I just want to be moving. It feels nice, I say, taking my drink out of Tyler's hand. Thank you. I'm guessing you've never been to a club before, Tyler laughs. No, never, I nod. Well, we have to make sure you have the best time then, so you agree to come back with me? Tyler smiles as he uses his arm to twirl me around as I laugh. I don't think there will be a next time. I told you my stepdad's going to kill me for this. I laugh as I take a sip of my drink. Well, let's let you live a little, so it will be worth it. Tyler smiles as he finishes his drink. I do the same. We put both glasses down on a nearby table and grab Tyler's hand, leading him out on the dance floor. This isn't so bad. Tyler and I dance together for a few minutes before a new song starts playing. It feels really good. This is the best I've felt without heroin in a long time. The song starts and I move closer to Tyler, turn around and start grinding on him. He puts his hands on both my hips and pulls me even closer. We start moving as one when I hear someone shout, "Mine!" Then I feel a hand on my shoulder pulling me away from Tyler. I turn around and see a man with his back to me staring at Tyler, and Tyler has his hands up in surrender, shaking his head at the guy. What's going on? I ask Tyler as I move to get away from this guy, but he has his hand pretty firmly on my shoulder, but my moving only makes him tighten his grip. Stop! You're hurting me! I keep pushing to get out of his grasp. The man stops and turns to me, looking me over, concerned and dropping his hand from my shoulder. I'm sorry, he says, looking at the red mark on my shoulder where he was holding me. Tyler, I call out as I take a step back. Hey, don't be scared of me, the man says, taking another step closer to me as I take a step back.
Tyler,
I squeak out again. The man stops walking toward me and Tyler appears next to him, bouncing on his toes a little bit, but neither of them says a word. Eventually the man sighs and Tyler runs towards me, careful not to touch me. Good. I hate being touched. You're okay. He didn't mean to hurt you. Please don't be scared, Tyler says quickly in my ear so I can hear him over the loud music. I want to go home, please, I say, looking from the man to Tyler. At least at home I know what to expect. At home I can prepare myself. Here it just comes out of nowhere. I'd rather go home and deal with people. I know what to expect from them. Tyler looks at the guy, then back at me. Please, it was fun while it lasted, but I want to go home now, I say to him. Tyler nods and starts leading me out of the club. Thank God. We make it back to the car without saying a word. I open the passenger side car door and start putting on my shirt, hoodie and jacket, trying to put as many layers between me and the outside world as possible. Hey, I'm sorry about that. Are you okay? Tyler asks. He puts a hand on my shoulder. Don't touch me. I quickly pull away from him and he pulls his hand away. I know that was weird, but I can explain, Tyler says, looking at me. I just want to go home. Looking forward, pulling my book bag onto my lap and clinging to it like my life depended on it. I feel my hands start shaking and I try to control it, but it only makes the shaking worse. Okay, Tyler mumbles as he puts the key in the ignition and turns it. It was a long, silent ride home. Every now and then I could feel Tyler look over at me and want to say something, but he never did. I didn't mind the quiet. Over the years I've learned to love the silence, because when you spend half your time in a drugged-up haze, you learn to find peace in the silence. You can drop me off here, I tell him once he gets to the end of the street that the school is on. In the middle of the street? Tyler looks at me. No way. It's the middle of the night. I'm not dropping you off in the middle of the street. He shakes his head. Fine. I'll direct you to my house. But please don't pull in the driveway. I'm already in enough trouble. I sigh. Okay. Take a right up ahead. It's the last house on the left. I direct him. He does what I say and pulls over in front of the last house on the left. I hop out of the car and look back at Tyler. Thanks. It was fun while it lasted. So thanks, I say as I stand up and close the car door behind me, then start walking up the driveway. As soon as I step on the front porch, I turn back and wave to Tyler. He waves back and then drives away. Once Tyler is out of sight, I walk off the porch and back down the driveway as I start my walk home. It's about a 5-minute walk home. The cold night air felt good. I don't remember the last time I was conscious enough to see the sunset, much less was free enough to be able to go outside. I get home and open the front door, hoping my stepfather and his friends are already drunk enough to be passed out. Of course, I'm not that lucky. I barely have the front door closed before it starts. Slap. Where have you been? My stepfather yells as I grab the railing on the stairs to regain my balance. I'm sorry, I apologise. All you have to do is go to school and come home. You can't even do that right. One of his friends comes from behind me up the stairs and kicks my back, causing me to fall forward and land on the ground. My stepfather picks me up by my hair. I do everything for you, and this is my repayment. You go and run around town whoring yourself out to any guy that gives you attention. Yeah, I know about that, he yells in my face. It's not like that, I try to defend myself. Like I'd believe a liar like you. Haha. He laughs humorously. I'm going to have to teach you a lesson, he says as he pulls through the house towards the basement. Shit. No, please, no. I tried to fight back, but it was not good enough. He pushes me down the stairs. I land at the bottom of the stairs on my arm and hear it crack, and I scream out in pain and roll on the ground. Kick. I feel pain spread through my spine and all over my back. Oh, stop. Please stop, I beg. Oh, but you've not learned your lesson yet, my stepfather says, walking down the stairs to me. Get her on the bed. I feel hands on me picking me up, one of which uses my hurt arm to pick me up. I scream out in pain again. They set me on the bed and one of them pulls off my jacket forcefully, again hurting my arm, causing me to scream. Look at that. We haven't even started to yet and she's already screaming. I hear one of his friends laugh while pulling off my jeans while another one pulls off my hoodie. Why does she have to wear so many clothes? Just get them off her, my stepfather orders. They pull off my leggings and 2 shirts. Hold her down. They do as he says, like always, and like always I kick and scream and beg, but they don't listen. Well, looks like someone else has been touching her too, my stepfather says, running his thumb over the slight bruise forming on my shoulder from the guy earlier tonight. Listen here, bitch, my stepfather says. Slap. I said listen here, bitch, he yells in my face as he unbuttons his pants. I'm listening, I cry out. Shut her up, he growls out, and someone stuffs a cloth in my mouth as I scream, but it's no use. My hands are tied above my head and my legs are handcuffed to the bottom of the bedposts, forcing them open. As always, all my fighting is of no use. In a flash, my stepfather thrusts himself into me as I cry and pull against my restraints to fight him off. As usual, his friends just stand around and watch as I cry and plead. They like my humiliation. After a few minutes, one of his friends walks over to me, pulling the gag out of my mouth and shoving a cold metal ring in my mouth in its place, forcing my mouth open. I let out a scream, only for it to be cut off by him shoving his dick in my mouth, face-fucking me. I try to scream again, but that just seems to be getting him off more. This seems to last forever when I hear the door open. Jeff's home. The guy in my mouth pulls out, takes the ring out and shoves the gag back in before I can scream. Then I see another of my stepfather's friends walking toward me with a syringe. I look at him and nod. Please, I don't want to be here for this. He shoves the needle in my arm and presses down. And soon.
Chapter 3. Tyler's POV. After dropping Blake off, I head back to the club. Alpha ordered me to come right back here, so here I am. I make my way back into the club, nodding at the bouncer, who is a pack member, and is expecting me. Once inside, I look around and spot the person I'm looking for in the back corner booth, near where Blake and I were standing earlier. I slide into the booth across from him. Alpha? How is she? He asks, cutting me off. She'll be okay. I just dropped her off at home. She was just a little freaked out. I shrug. I didn't mean to freak her out. I didn't realize she was human at the time, he says, looking at his hands on the table. I know. I had to mind link you to tell you that, I say, leaning back some, relaxing in my seat. So, tell me about my mate, the Alpha says, leaning forward some. Are you sure she is your mate? I ask. I want to make sure. It is a crowded club after all. She is. You know this was not the plan for my birthday. I wanted to come here, get drunk, and get laid. I had no intention of finding my mate. I didn't want to find my mate, he growls out. He takes a deep breath and continues. But I walked in here and smelled the best scent. Her scent. It took me a few minutes to figure out it was coming from her, but when I did, she was standing right over there, dancing by herself in the corner. I couldn't take my eyes off her. Then you came back and drank with her, and she kept dancing. Even when she pulled you out on the dance floor, I couldn't take my eyes off her. But eventually, I did, and I realized she was grinding on you. I lost it for a second. My wolf took over and pulled you off her. I didn't mean to hurt her, he says, looking at me in the eyes. Then he looks back at his hands and mumbles. I got lost in feeling the tingles and sparks of touching her. He looks back up at me. I didn't mean to grab her so hard. I didn't mean to scare her. Well, thanks for letting me go to her to calm her down. That couldn't have been easy for you, I say, leaning back. No, it fucking sucked, and I wanted to kill you. But I let you live because my mate needed you. I'm debating if I should keep letting you live, though, since you touched my mate, he growls. We were just dancing, and she's the one that dragged me out on the dance floor, I defend myself. And I stopped the second I knew she was your mate, I remind him. Yeah, I guess it would take a long time for me to find a new gamma, so I guess I'll let you live for a little while longer, he jokes. Yeah, I laugh. So, tell me about my mate, he says, leaning forward again. Well, I've only known her for a week. She goes to my new school. Her name is Blake, and she's pretty cool, I shrug. Pretty cool? That's all you can give me? He asks. I've only known her for a week, I shrug. It's not like she's my lifelong best friend. But you have to know more than that, he huffs. Well, teachers don't seem to like her because she doesn't do all her homework or study. But she isn't stupid. She just, I don't know, busy, I guess. She doesn't have a ton of friends either, I say. A wallflower, he asks. A cuttlefish, I laugh. A cuttlefish, he asks, raising an eyebrow. Yeah, that's what she called herself earlier. She says she blends in like a cuttlefish, I explain. Oh, is all he says, taking a sip of the drink in front of him. Yeah, her stepfather seems to keep her on a very short leash, says she's the problem child. She was apprehensive about getting in trouble, and I practically had to force her to come here, I explain. A problem child scared of getting in trouble? He raises an eyebrow. She's really sweet, but her brother seems to be the golden child of the town, so by comparison, I shrug. Oh, and one more thing, I say, leaning forward and looking him in the eye. She hates being touched. It freaks her out. You can physically see her retreating in herself when you touch her. It's weird. She didn't seem to have a problem touching you when she was dancing with you, he says, leaning back and crossing his arms. I don't know. It might have been the alcohol. I can't explain it, I shrug. Every other time she's pulled away, even afterward in the car. You touched her in the car, he growls at me. I tapped her shoulder to get her attention, only for a second. I defend myself, but put my hands up in surrender. Oh, I won't kill you for that, I guess, he growls. I know you didn't want to find your mate, but are you glad that you did? I ask, leaning back and taking a sip of my beer. I haven't decided yet. She's human. They're weak. I can't have that. But the stupid mate bond won't make it easy, he says with a shrug. So you might reject her? I ask, leaning forward with a horrified look. Probably. I wasn't expecting to see her tonight, so I wasn't prepared. But I will next time I see her. You should bring her around sometime, so I can do it before the bond gets too strong, he shrugs. She's my friend. I'm not going to just bring her around so you can hurt her, I nearly yell. Then I'll just go to your school and do it in front of everyone she knows, he shrugs. You're a dick, I say, as I shake my head. Well, what do you expect me to do? Why do you want to know about her if you were going to reject her? I ask. I wasn't sure yet, until you told me about her. She isn't what I want, he explains. Well, happy birthday to you, I sigh out and take a sip of my beer. 22 for one day, and you already found your mate. I'm going to reject her. It doesn't matter. Come Monday, and I'll be back to normal again, he says, looking at the crowd, eyeing a specific girl. I guess he found his target for tonight. Monday after school. After my class of the day, I walk out to the parking lot towards my car, only to see him leaning against my car. Well, he says, holding his arms out to both sides, looking around. Where is she? Let's get this over with. I didn't think you'd show up to do it this way, I say, opening the back door to throw my bag inside my car. Well, here I am. I drove all the way out here, so where is she? He says, looking at the crowd of students exiting the building. First of all, it's only a 20-minute drive, so it's not that bad, and you can look all you want. She's not here, I say. She's not here? He asks, exasperated. She could be sick or something. I don't know, I shrug. Well, text her, he says. I can't. I don't have her number. And if she's sick, I'm not going to make her come down here so you can make her day crappier. I guess you're going to have to wait one more day for your rejection, I say, crossing my arms. Fine, but I will not waste my time coming back tomorrow unless I know she is here. So, if she's here, text me. I'm done wasting my time with this, he says, walking back to his car. Fine, I roll my eyes. Tuesday, no Blake. Wednesday, still no Blake. Okay, maybe she's really sick. Thursday, seriously, where is she? Blake hasn't shown up to school in nearly a week, and I seem to be the only one that notices, and I'm tired of it. Her brother, Mr. Popular, walks around the cafeteria like everything is fine. But what's happening with Blake? Why isn't she here? I've had enough of this. I get up from the table I usually share with her and march over to where he is. Where's your sister? I ask him. He looks up from the girl sitting on his lap that he hasn't stopped sucking face with the entire time he's been here. What? The girl looks up at me and asks. She's 12. What do you want with her, you perv? She says, rolling her eyes. No, you! I glare at her. You! I say, looking at him. My sister? I don't have a sister. He shakes his head. I can hear his heartbeat. He's lying. Yeah, idiot. He doesn't have a sister. The girl chimes in. Fine, stepsister. Whatever. Is she okay? I ask him. I don't know what you're talking about, dude, he says, standing up. Come on, let's go somewhere more private, he says, leading the girl out of the cafeteria. Okay, fuck this guy. I follow them out of the cafeteria into the empty hall. Dude, what's your problem? He says, turning to me, putting himself between the girl and me, trying to be the big man. Before he can blink, I have pinned him against the wall by his throat. Where is Blake? I ask again. I don't know who that is, he says. He's lying again. What's your problem? The girl yells. You're Jeff, right? Yeah, he coughs out, using both hands to hold my arm, trying to get out of my grip. Your stepsister is Blake, I say more than ask. No, he lies again. I tighten my grip on his throat. He doubles his efforts to get out of it, but there's no point. Liar, I say, tightening my grip. Fine, fine. Yes, she's my stepsister, he admits. I let him go. There, was that so hard? I say. Now where is she? I don't know, he says between coughs, holding his breath. She hasn't been here in a week. Is she sick? Why isn't she here? I ask. I don't know where she is. I haven't seen her, he says. Since when? I ask. Last I saw her, she was passed out high on our couch in the living room in the middle of the day 3 weeks ago, he says, looking me in the eyes. He's not lying. His heartbeat remains even, and no physical signs of deceit are shown. Brianna, go back to lunch, he tells the girl. She listens. After she is back in the cafeteria and out of earshot, we continue the conversation. You live with her, and you haven't seen her in 3 weeks, I ask. No, I heard some movement in her room last Thursday night, but I haven't heard anything since. Movement? I ask. Jeff sighs and looks at the ground before looking back at me. I heard a guy. They were having sex, he says. Oh, I say, confused. Dude, listen to me. She's kind of my sister, so I have to tolerate her, but she's a mess. When I told you she was passed out high, I didn't mean on weed. She goes on these benders doing hard drugs. Seeing her once every few weeks is normal for her. She might get her shit together for a couple of hours, or maybe a couple of days, but the longer she stays clean, the worse it is when she gets back to it, he says. She's on drugs, I ask. Yes, my dad and his friends try to help her. They'll spend hours locked in her room, but all I can hear is her begging for more drugs. There are needles all over the place. They'll take away her drugs, but she just fights them, trying to get them back. It's unfortunate, but she's a lost cause, he shrugs. Don't waste your time. She's not a lost cause, I argue. Suit yourself. You'll learn soon enough. Even her mother dumped her on my dad because she couldn't handle Blake, he says, walking back into the cafeteria. How can he be so mean about his sister? That's family. You don't turn your back on your family. Fuck this. I'm going to look for her. I'm going to go to her house and see for myself. Within a few minutes, I'm parked outside her house and knocking on her front door. It doesn't take long for a little old lady to answer the door. She looks to be in her 70s and has a cane to walk. Hi, I'm looking for Blake. I'm a friend from school, I explained to the old lady. Blake? Blake? No, we don't have a Blake that lives here, the old lady says, looking around. Are you sure? Yes, it's just me and my husband, Charles. Charles! She calls into the house. She's telling the truth. It's okay. I can believe you. Sorry to bother you, I say, stepping off the porch. This is the house where she had me drop her off last Friday night. Why would she have me drop her off at a house that isn't hers? Oh, right. She didn't want me to drop her off at home at all. That's going to make finding her a lot harder. I get back in my car and dial up the one person that could be of some use to me. Alpha, we have a problem, I say as I hear the phone connect. What? He sighs. It's your mate. She's missing. What? He growls. She hasn't been to school all week, and her stepbrother says he hasn't seen her all week, I explain. So? She's playing hooky. Big whoop. Everyone does that in high school. I have a bad feeling about this, and as much as you like to pretend you don't care, she is still your mate, I say to him. Fine. If she doesn't show up for school tomorrow, tell me. We can look for her then, he sighs. Thank you, I sigh. Let's hope she turns up unharmed soon.